Okay, so if you've ever traveled along the beautiful coastlines of the Gulf of Thailand, you've definitely marveled at the stunning islands, those towering limestone mountains, and the really unique capes. But according to local folklore, these natural formations weren't created by shifting tectonic plates or thousands of years of erosion. No way. They are actually the literal fallout of an epic, totally disastrous family dispute. Today in this explainer, we're looking at a story absolutely steeped in drama, romance, and some truly extreme reactions. So, you're probably wondering, what do a flying hat, a torn daughter, and a wedding actually have to do with Thailand's geography? Well, we are unraveling a massive geographical mystery here to figure out how the famous islands and mountains of the Gulf of Thailand were supposedly formed. It sounds completely bizarre right now, I know, but trust me, by the end, every single piece of this wild puzzle is going to fit perfectly into place. All right, let's jump into Section 1, the Gulf of Thailand Mystery, uncovering a geographical puzzle. And that brings us to Section 2, Root of the Love Triangle, two suitors, two secrets. You know, this whole wild story starts in a quiet fishing village in Ao Noi with a guy named Ta Mong Lai, his wife Yai Rampung, and their legendarily beautiful daughter, Yom Doi. Now, this setup creates what is basically the ultimate soap opera conflict. You got two vastly different suitors making secret deals. On one side, there's Chow Lai. He's this handsome young guy from Phetchaburi who cleverly disguises himself as a poor fisherman just to get close to the family. He's polite, he's hardworking, and he totally wins over the mom. But on the flip side, we have Chow Krung Chin. He is a wildly wealthy Chinese merchant who rolls up on a magnificent junk ship. He forms a really strong bond with the dad, who is, of course, deeply impressed by his wealth and status. So the mom hates the merchant, the dad hates the fisherman, and the battle lines are officially drawn. Right, so the crucial point here is that a total lack of communication leads to a catastrophic double booking. Chow Lai secretly proposes to the mother and she accepts, without breathing a single word to her husband. Meanwhile, Chow Kring Chin goes and makes a proposal directly to the father. The dad eagerly accepts and completely hides it from his wife. It is a massive failure in communication, and basically a ticking time bomb. Which leads us right into Section 3, the fierce wedding day clash, chaos at Ao Noi. Man, these disaster escalates so fast here. Picture this, it's the morning of the wedding. Chow Krung Chin arrives by sea from the south with this deafeningly loud traditional lion dance in a massive procession. But simultaneously, Chow Lai is marching in from the north with a lively brass band and long drums. By noon, the parents look outside, see two massive, incredibly noisy wedding processions converging on their home, and finally discover each other's secret. By the afternoon, the parents just completely lose their minds, turn on each other, and a violent, insanely destructive argument erupts right there on the beach. Let's look at the fallout in Section 4, Islands Born from Vengeance, a map carved by fury. So this wasn't just, throwing a few plates in the kitchen. In their blind rage, it's like they acquired superhuman strength, and the objects they threw actually became permanent fixtures of the Thai landscape. First, the mom grabs a hat and launches it at her husband. The wind catches it, it lands in the ocean in Prachuap Kiri Khan, and boom, it becomes the famous mountain known as Kowloon Walk. Still absolutely furious, she grabs a traditional farmer's hat, or a nobe, and hurls it with such unbelievable force that it flies all the way across the Gulf of Thailand to Chanthaburi province, landing to become the Cape of Lam Gobe. Not to be outdone, the dad retaliates. Ta Mong Lai grabs a woven basket and just chucks it at his wife. It misses, flies across the sea to Chat province, and becomes Koh Krabang, which literally translates to Basket Island. Next, he grabs a heavy wooden pestle and throws it with such terrifying velocity that it violently pierces right through an island in front of him. That creates the famous Koh Talu, or Pierced Island, before the pestle finally lands in the water in Trat to become Koh Sak, Pestle Island. I mean, the sheer geographical scale of this fight is just incredible. Even the wedding dowry gets totally destroyed in the crossfire. The beautiful mirror meant for the bride, smashed, becoming Khao Chong Krachak, or Mirror Mountain. The chopsticks fly through the air and become the twin peaks of Khao Takyab in Hua Hin. The plates turn into Koh Jan, or Plate Island. The lore actually goes even deeper here. The betel leaves from the ceremony turned into green shells. The wedding sweets became seaweed, and all that precious gold and ruby jewelry scattered to become the beautiful, shining seashells you see along the coast today. And then, the chaos reaches an absolutely horrifying climax. Ta Mong Lai, seeing no way out of this impossible situation and completely driven to madness, turns his wrath on the very cause of the dispute. He literally tears his beautiful daughter in half and throws one piece to each groom. It is a shocking, incredibly dark turn for sure, but it vividly underscores the destructive nature of unchecked rage and folklore.
So the entire family is just completely annihilated, and their tragic deaths form the final mountains along the coastline. The daughter's two halves, they become Khao Nam Sao and Kham Nam Sao. The mother, after witnessing the horrific death of her daughter, wanders down the beach, her mind completely shattered, and she actually dies of a broken heart, becoming Khao Mei Ram Fung. Chow Lai, the disguised groom, is so devastated that he vomits blood and dies, forming Khao Chow Lai. And the dad, having destroyed absolutely everything he loved, grabs a jug of liquor, walks to the sea, and dies standing up. He turns into Khao Ta Mong Lai, a mountain that locals say still looks exactly like a man leaving with a jug at his feet.
Moving on to Section 5, National Cultural Heritage, from local myth to global tale. Now, you might be thinking, this is just a modern fairy tale made up for tourists, right? Actually, scratch that. What starts as a wild origin myth holds incredibly deep cultural significance for the nation. Its oldest written record dates all the way back to the reign of King Rama II, right around the years 1815 to 1816. A poet named Moon Pram Sompat Sorn actually mentioned the geographical names related to Ta Mong Lai in his travel poem, The Nirat Talong. That proves these oral traditions have been deeply ingrained in local Thai culture for centuries. Fast forward to the Thai calendar year 2055, which, for context, is 2012 for most of us, and this legend was officially registered as the nation's intangible cultural heritage by the Department of Cultural Promotion. It's categorized under folk literature and language. It's even been adapted into plays, regional songs, and plays a huge role in the local Songkran Festival celebrations in Prachuap. And what's really interesting is that the appeal of this story goes way beyond Thailand. It's actually been translated into 7 different foreign languages. You can find this local Thai tale in English, Chinese, Japanese, French, German, Spanish, and Italian. It often comes as this awesome illustrated book with cartoons and photos of the actual geographical sites, making it a fantastic educational tool that totally crosses cultural boundaries. Ultimately, the core moral takeaway of this whole explainer is perfectly summarized right here. A tragic end born from greed, deception, and a failure to communicate. It's the ultimate cautionary tale. The parents' desire for either wealth or their preferred son-in-law, mixed with all that deceitful secrecy, didn't just ruin a wedding, it completely obliterated their family. It's a pretty stark reminder that our actions, and especially our secrets, have profound, lasting consequences. So the next time you visit those beautiful beaches, soak in the sun, and look out at the stunning islands and mountains along the coast, you kind of have to ask yourself, which piece of this chaotic myth are you actually standing on? Are you hiking on a thrown hat, swimming near a shattered mirror, or exploring the remnants of a tragic fisherman? This folklore completely changes how you see the landscape, and honestly, it really makes you wonder what other explosive secrets are hiding in local legends around the world.